besties, welcome back if you are returning, and if you're not, welcome in. Today, first of all, I'm going to try my very hardest to not say I said so much in the last vid, and I'm just trying to get better at speaking in general, because this is something I want to be good at, you know what I'm saying? Today, I will be talking about the icon, the legend, Head Over Heels.
Hey, queen.
Like, what do y'all know about Head Over Heels? I'm being so serious right now. What do y'all know about Head Over Heels? Let's just get into it. No need to lollygag, you know? Head Over Heels was a film, an iconic piece of media that was released on February 2nd, 2001, and directed by the iconic Mr. Mark Waters of Mean Girls and Freaky Friday fame. If you know, you know. That's all I have to say. That's just that on that. And you might be wondering, okay, so if it was directed by Mark Waters and he has all these massive hits, how come I've never heard of Head Over Heels? And I would ask the same thing. Why are people not seeing this movie for the true masterpiece that it is? I think it was just too powerful. It was just too powerful for its time. And as we're about to get into, you'll see how absolutely iconic the film is. And I just think that the general masses, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to receive and truly appreciate something so iconic. Let's go ahead. Let's dive right in. Let's dive right into the movie, okay? Okay. The movie opens with our main character, Amanda, played by Miss Monica Potter. And she says, "This is my hometown, Grinnell, Iowa. But now I live here, New York City." And that's kind of the framing. That's what we get for our first shot. And unfortunately for Miss Monica Potter, she did get ate up in her own movie. And that is no hate to Miss Girl. You know, maybe I'm just not familiar with her game. And she's really out here, you know, doing good work. But from the research that I did, there wasn't a lot there. There wasn't a lot there for me to kind of sink my teeth into. But that's okay, because she ate in this movie. Like, she ate, but maybe she's just not as iconic as the rest of the cast. But that's okay. That's okay. She opens with the quote, "NYC, home to 8 million people, roughly half of whom are men, which means half of the city is genetically predisposed to lie to the other half." Did we hear any lies? Were any lies told? Let me ask the audience. I don't think so. She says she has the world's worst judgment in men. She's like, "I know what you're thinking. No, it's me. And no, it's me." So Miss Girl is just unlucky in the romance department. But she says that's okay, because she works at the Metropolitan Art Museum as an art history restorationer. I don't know what the term is. She says she's works in restoring paintings in the Renaissance art division. So we cut to her at the office in a crusty, dusty little basement. And her friend Lisa walks in, and she immediately horny. She's thirsting over some girl up over there or whatever. And I would love to stand. However, why does she have locks? Oh, that's not, like, why do you have locks? Ew, girl, ew. Lisa says, "Girl, we have to get out of this historical art division. Like, it is dry out here. We're going to end up like the menopausal triplets." Huh? They're talking about the 3 old ladies that they work with. Stop. Not menopausal triplets. But Amanda's like, "I don't want to transfer. I love my job. And, like, you know, slay. We love to see a girl that is invested in her work. Enter her boss, who comes in with this big old painting. He's like stumbling down the stairs. And she's like, "That's Titian's Bacchanal." Okay. And Miss Girl is weak in the knees. She stumbles. Lisa has to catch her. She's like, "Oh my God, she's really good." You know, she's flabbergasted over this painting. Lisa is like, "Why are you only weak in the knees over your work? I feel like you need to feel that way about a man and, like, get a life." And Amanda's like, "Oh, I was supposed to surprise Michael with dinner tonight," which I guess we can infer is her boyfriend. She leaves her work, she goes home, walks in the door. Oh, so her boyfriend is indeed hooking up with another girl. She walks in and she's like, what is this? And crusty old Michael is like, it's not what it looks like. She says, it looks like you're hooking up with the model on the cover of the lingerie magazine. Oh, that's not. Bestie is devastated. Cut to, she's crying in the apartment with Miss Lisa because she had to get the heck out of there. So she goes and stays with Miss Lisa. She's talking to Lisa and she's like, I've never been weak in the knees for a guy. For a guy. Interesting. She says she needs to focus on her work and not think about men. I'm sensing a theme here. She also says that she's going to start searching for an apartment. So cut to the next day. Bestie's walking around and she sees a little flyer. $500 for an apartment in New York City. Gotta go check it out. She finds the apartment. She walks in and immediately gets trampled, absolutely run over by this dog. And a man comes running after the dog. She's composing herself. She's like, ugh. She looks up. Mr. Man he's a little bit attractive. And this attractive man is played by Freddie Prinze Jr. of Scooby-Doo fame, of Sarah Michelle Gellar marriage fame. She's all that fame. Bestie is stumbling. She's stumbling over her words. She does not know what to say.
Look, it was nice to meet you and your huge dong. I mean, his huge dong.
But Mr. Hot Guy doesn't seem to be fazed. And she gets weak in the knees. Weak in the knees over a man? But she says she's never done that before. So this is big news. This is really big news for her. So cut to, they're in the apartment now, and we are introduced to Holly, played by Tomiko Frazier. Successful, not runway model, but she did like commercial things, Old Navy, Gap, things like that, you know? Holly says you can pay cash, check, money order, cash. Mind you, she hasn't even seen the apartment yet. She hasn't even seen her room yet. But Bestie's trying to make a sale. So they walk into the room. It's giving very much closets. And Amanda says it. She's like, oh, this looks like a closet. Holly goes, don't be silly. Closets don't have windows. And besides, you haven't seen the closet yet. She opens the door. Boom. Closet is massive. Closet is 3 times the size of the room. She says, and I quote, I mean, how much room do you need to sleep? But shoes, they need their space. And she's right. Are we going to say she's wrong? Like, no. So they walk out. They're negotiating over, so what do you do for work? She wants to know if she can pay this rent. And then her roommates walk in. And we are introduced to the iconic trio. Roxana, who is like Russian model, like a little bit of a bitch. And she's just like, she's like harsh, but she's cool. She's chill. Candy, who she's an Aussie. Yeah, she's an Aussie. Ooh, that was absolutely atrocious. Forgive my accent. And she's kind of like the ditzy one of the group. Like, she doesn't really know what's going on, but she's vibing. She's vibing. She said that she once had a pet dingoer named Amanda, but, quote, me dad ran over it with a tractor. Okay. And finally, we are introduced to Miss Jade.
This is a potential mother.
Now, Jade, me and her, we see each other. Like, me and Jade are actually the same. We're the same person. Like, sorry about it. And Miss Jade is played by the iconic legend and mother, Shalom Harlow. Yes. Like, yes, we won. And Miss Jade is queen cunt. Like, she introduces herself. Hey. Amanda's like, oh my God, is that your engagement ring? She goes, girl, please, it would take a lot more carats than this. And the ring is massive. So we can already tell, like, she's that kind of girl. Hey guys, it's me here from the editing booth, so excuse the audio. I forgot to mention the actors for the girls that play Roxana and Candy. So let me just give them a little backstory because they deserve it. Roxana is played by Ivana Milicevic. I hope I'm saying that right. And she's a model and actress. And if you all watch The Nanny, if you know that iconic show, if y'all remember the episode where Maggie is obsessed with this like rock girl, and her name is Tasha. She plays Tasha in The Nanny in that one episode. So yeah, that's a little bit iconic. Candy is played by Sarah O'Hare, who is like Miss Model. Like Bestie has been on the cover of Vogue many a time. Very famous in Australia, I think, too. She was a host of Australia's Top Model. She's like run some news stuff, but she's Miss Model. So I just wanted to mention that. Make sure we don't, we got to give them their flowers. So the models, they're scoping her out. They're like, do you smoke? Like, what do you do for work? And she's like, oh, no, I don't smoke. And I work at the Metropolitan Art Museum. They said, oh, you have a job? Oh, you don't smoke? You're coming with us. Because apparently they are the last 4 non-smoking models on the whole island of Manhattan. Okay, healthy queens. And so it's settled. Bestie is moving in. Cut to next day. Amanda's walking in the apartment, and there are some men waiting outside. They have suits on. They're like, ugh. They're practicing. They're like, I love you, baby. And the other one's like, wow, that was really good. And she's confused. Bestie's like, what the hell is going on right now? She walks in, and she's like, oh, guys, I think there's people waiting outside for you. And the models rush. They rush to the door. They look out the little peephole. The men have doubled, tripled, multiplied. And when they open the peephole, they run. They run. It's a frenzy. And the girls there are scoping them out. Jade goes, hey, Amanda, come take a peek, get your pick of the litter. And Amanda says, oh, I'm not really interested in men right now. Okay. That is so me vibes. That is so me vibes. Holly then goes, see how we pick out the men, She's looking the men up and down. She's like, that guy, suit straight off the rack, Hugo Boss, shoes crusty. But this man over here, tie from Gucci, and he's eating the girls up. Amanda then says, so you pick relationships off of clothes and gifts.
Well, yes.
And Jade goes, no, we pick them off of personalities. Because, girl, what are you talking about? These are men. Make their pockets hurt. Amanda then goes, guys, I can't go out with you. Like, I can't even afford that. That's just not for me. That's out of my tax bracket. Jade then goes,
We don't pay. We're models.
Amanda still stays in because I guess she's a flop or whatever. She's like, I just don't want to go. Like, I'm not into men right now. So she's staying in. Candy stays in too because there's this running gag where she like gets plastic surgery throughout the whole movie, just her whole face. So she stays in. She's with Candy. And out the window of the apartment, she spots Mr. Hotman. Mr. Hotman in his building across. And she's like, oh my God, that's the guy I ran into in the lobby. Candy goes, oh, that guy? That's Jim Winston, fashion executive. She's like, oh, so you fancy him? She goes, no. And Candy's like, girl, I see that look in your face, and I can just tell. It's the same way, she says, and I quote, it's the same way I used to catch me Uncle Pete looking at me.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Amanda is like, okay, but no, I don't like him. Like he's not for me. Next day, she's walking down the street, boom, attacked by the dog again. Trampled, coffee spilled. And wouldn't you know, Jim is the one walking him. So Amanda, she's being hella awkward again. She calls him Jim by accident. It is a PR disaster. Jim is like, ugh, let me buy you another coffee. Like, let me get you another coffee because Hamlet spilled it. Hamlet is the dog. Hamlet spilled the coffee. Like, let me buy you a coffee. And she's like, no, I can't go out with you. I mean, I can't get coffee with you. Not that I would want to go out with you. I don't even know you. Like, girl, are you okay? Are you okay? She walks away and she's like, ooh, I fumbled. Ooh, I fumbled. Later that night, she's out to dinner with the girls. They're debriefing. And they're like, girl, why didn't you get coffee with him? And she's like, because that's what I would normally do. And every time I do what I normally do, I end up with these crusty little men. And she ate that a little bit. They're eating, they're dining. She's like, what? Why are all the men at the bar? And they go, well, Holly came up with this you sit over there system so we can have our dinner and they sit over there. Genius, a little bit genius, yeah. And they go, Holly was actually accepted into Stanford, but she turned it down. And she says, honey, look at me. What do I need Stanford for? End of the dinner comes, the bill comes, and Amanda's like, this is $120. Jade goes, girl, don't be silly. It's $1,200. Amanda is gobsmacked, flabbergasted. Jade goes, girl, we're not going to pay for it. Takes the bill, holds it up. The men are scrambling. They really ate with their whole system, like revolutionary. So the next couple scenes, we get a cute little spying montage. The girls are doing some recon. They're trying to figure out the flaw in this man because Amanda's not having it. She's not going to get her heart broken again. So they're spying through the apartment, and all the girls are like, girl, he is Miss Perfect. At one point, he's doing like pull-ups, and they're all like, I sat there in silence because what is that? That's scary. So they're spying and they see him like orchestrating a little party. The models are like, girl, we should go and you should come with. She's like, no, he's going to be into y'all, the models, not me. I'm not a model. I don't look like you guys. They go, oh, you want a model? Makeover time. And we get a cute little makeover montage. It is so cute. And we get a ABBA, like, Take a Chance cover, but it's house. And it's slang. So they get to the house party. They're in the elevator. They're giving her all these little tips. And Roxana goes, oh, and don't forget to turn on the headlights. They ate. So she's in the party. She's walking around. She's trying to find Jim. And she spots him. And he's giving D-bag. He's giving ladies' man. He's And homegirl is devastated. She goes up to Jade. She's like, I'm leaving. She's like, I can't. I have to go. Jade is very much giving IDGAF. She's like, okay.
So, what was that you were saying about me?
So she goes to leave. Elevator isn't working. She's got to go take the stairs. She gets out the door. Boom, Jim's there. She falls down the stairs. And Jim's like, oh my God, are you okay? And they're just chatting it up. She's like, oh yeah, I was going to leave because, like, why are you even out here? Like, you seem like you were having so much fun, this and that. And he's like, girl, I'm an executive. I have to kiss butt. I'm not vibing with this party. And he's just chatting her up. He gets her to stay. They sit, they're chatting. He's like, yeah, I just bury myself in my work. And my problem with my love life is that I'm just so trusting and I just see the good in people. Same problem as Amanda. And homegirl is like, oh my God, I can't escape this man and the way that I feel about him. She gets up to leave. She's like, we should do something. Are you free Saturday? He goes, actually, my schedule's really busy. And before you go, let me get my coat back. Ooh, it is devastating for her. She's down bad. She's walking back to the apartment. She's taking her makeup off. She's like, never will I let myself fall for a man again. Until Mr. Jim comes running back. He's out of breath. He's got his inhaler. He's like, I'm sorry. I usually bury myself in my work. And I really do want to go out with you. And I really do like you. And they kiss. Oh. Jim then asks her out for Saturday. It's looking up for Miss Amanda. It's looking up. Bestie is locked in. She's back in the apartment. She's like, oh, he's the one. Yep, he's the one. I've decided. That's my man. My man. That's very her. The models walk back in. They're like, oh, you guys look so cute together. Like, we saw you talking. She's debriefing. She's like, yes, he asked me out for Saturday. Like, things are looking up until They see Jim out the window with another girl. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. Like, our D-bag meter did not go off. Like, we're so sorry, girl. That's devastating. And Amanda's a little bit devastated. The models go to change. Amanda sees him whack her through the window. Her hands falling on the ground. Bestie, it looks like Mr. Jim just killed her. She's like, oh my God, guys, get back here. The models rush in. She's like, I just saw him kill her. None of them saw it except Amanda. Bestie calls the police. Police come, and he's very much brushing them off, very much hating on them, saying that they don't do anything real for work, unlike him. Just general crusty man vibes. And he's like, okay, yeah, like, I'm still gonna investigate, but, like, you guys need to just cool it, okay? You guys just need to cool it. And he's just very much like, ugh, very much ugh. So next morning, Amanda looks across. She sees Jim in the apartment with a cleaning crew. She's like, huh? I didn't know murderers could get out on bail. So she goes down to the police station. She's investigating. She finds the same crusty cop. And she's like, so why is he not in jail? And where is this girl? Where is this girl that I saw him kill? And he goes, girl, there was no evidence, no body. We can't arrest him for that. And the girl, her name is Megan O'Brien. She's fine, okay? She's fine. She's like, how do you know? How do you know she's fine? He goes, well, there's no body. And we also haven't gotten in touch with her yet. But she's fine. She's fine.
Huh?
So you're bad at your job. So Amanda's at work. Bestie is sad. She's just staring at her painting. She's like, ugh, my man just killed someone. And I thought he was the one. No, oh my God, no. And the models walk in. They're disgusted, first of all. They're disgusted by this basement. But they're like, girl, you're overreacting. He did not kill her. Like, girl, all men lie. So if you really want to get down to the bottom of this, like, you're just going to have to investigate it yourself or move on. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So her and Roxana, they go down to the basement to the key guy, and they're like, what do we got to do to get this key to Mr. Jim's apartment? They swap him Roxana's dress, and he's living. He's living and slaying. So the models, they all get into his apartment with the key, and they're snooping around. They're investigating while Jim's not home. And they're like, oh, it's fine. We called his office. He'll be there for a while. Plus, we have Holly over there. She's waiting on the phone just in case anything happens. Surprise, surprise, Jim comes home. Yup, Jim comes home while they're still in the apartment, and they're scrambling. The models go hide in the bathroom. Amanda's underneath the desk. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. Jim comes into the bathroom. Uh-oh. It's looking bad for the models. Fortunately, he doesn't see them. Unfortunately, he takes the dookie of the century, and they're going through it. They are going through it, okay? But, they don't get found. He leaves, and it's all good. They don't find nothing. They don't find anything. Cut to, they're investigating further. They go see him at his work. Her and the models, and they got to take the subway. Models are devastated. Disgusted, even. They go spy on him at his work, and it's looking like business as usual. It's nothing to see. They're following him. There's nothing there. Cut to another scene of this man, this creepy old man. He says, is that her? Okay, well, we better check her out and make sure we don't have another Megan O'Brien on our hands. Huh? Next day, creepy dude shows up at their door. Jade is the one that answers the door, and Bestie goes, I don't mean to be discriminatory, but there is an age limit to get on the waiting list. She did eat that little one thing. He goes, oh no, don't worry about it. My name's Mr. Halloran. I'm here to see Amanda. We talked on the phone about some artwork. Okay. So he comes inside. He's talking to Amanda. He shows her this painting. He's acting mad weird. He's looking out the window at Jim. Weird as hell, okay? But we move. Cut to Holly's at a modeling show backstage, and she overhears Jim talking about Miss Megan. He's being sus. He's being so sus. And she's like, uh-oh. Maybe Amanda was right. So she goes and tells the models. She's like, guys, It's not looking good for our girl. Cut to, she's out on a dinner date with him, the Saturday dinner date. And they're chatting it up, they're hitting it off. And the models, they come, they're spying. They're like, oh God, what do we do? She's going to be so mad if she sees we're here. But we have to tell her. We can't let it get out of hand. Jade goes, okay, well, let's just get it over with. I'm getting hives being around all these ugly people. Amanda and Jim get up to leave. They're like, uh-oh, she can't see us here. The besties run into the bathroom. How do you think this goes for them? Based on previous events, how do you think this goes for them? They get Nickelodeon shit slimed. It's really bad for them. It's really bad for them. So Amanda leaves, and Jim's like, hold on, I have to make a phone call. I'll catch up with you. Gets on the phone. He goes, I'm out with her right now. Ugh, fine. They want a body? I'll give them a goddamn body. Huh? Uh-oh. It's scary. It's scary. You're thinking that Amanda's about to get whacked. Turns out, no, they just go to a cute little aquarium, and Jim, he is putting on the moves, you know? It's really romantic, and, you know, they're kissing. They go back to his apartment. They hook up in the apartment. Except, uh-oh, Amanda forgets to close the blinds. So while the models are recuperating in their apartment from the shit-splosion, they see every little thing. They see every little thing. They're spying. They're having a looking party, and they sure are watching. Amanda comes back the next day and she's like, guys, I'm going to Shelter Island with him this weekend. Like, it's really looking up. Yes, guys, clap for me. Guys, clap for me. And they're all like, oh. Holly's like, girl, I hate to say it, but I think he actually might be a murderer. And she's like, no, guys, no. We're past that. We're past that now. I know he's good. He's good, you know? So Amanda's going to work. She's like, everything is looking up. My life is so great. Until boom. She picks up a newspaper, front page, body of Megan O'Brien found dead. Cut to, Jim is in the elevator with Mr. Halloran, and they're talking shady shit. He's like, oh yes, we're gonna upgrade your position in the organization. What's going on? They get out the elevator. Somehow Amanda finds them there, and she's like, what's this? What's this? Showing them the headline. Jim's like, oh, let's talk about this later. Like, let's get out of here. Mr. Halloran puts the blicky on his back. He's like, I don't think so. What's going on? Fight breaks out. They're shooting. Bah, bah. It's going crazy. Jim, you know, he kind of ate up the girls. I can't even lie. He's getting rid of them. And he kidnaps Amanda. Shoves that girl in the car. She's freaking out. She's like, what is going on? I knew you were a murderer from the start. What are you about to do with me? Jim is like, bestie, I am not a murderer. I'm an undercover cop. Huh? Amanda's not believing it. She's like, show me your badge. Show me your badge. He's like, I don't have it on me. She's like, oh, that's convenient. I'm an undercover cop too, except I don't have my badge either. She's not having it. So he pulls over. He's like, would you calm down? I'm an undercover agent with the FBI, okay? I didn't kill nobody. Megan O'Brien, she's an FBI agent too. Her cover was blown. We had to stage the murder, and Halloran was watching from a building above you guys. Okay? So calm down. Amanda's devastated. She said, oh, so you're an FBI agent. Oh, so our whole relationship is a lie. Mind you, Jim is trying to track down Mr. Halloran, who is actually a Russian criminal boss and is, you know, he's up to something. Jim's trying to crack the case. She doesn't care. She does not care at all. So Jim's like, your friends are in danger. If they're at the apartment right now, they're in danger. So they rush back. Cut to the apartment. It's two men outside. Roxana opens the door. She's like, guys, waiting list doesn't open until 3. Blicky to the head. She's like, okay, I guess we can make an exception. The two guys, they kidnap the models. They're getting in the car. Jim and Amanda try to stop them. He gets tackled by Hamlet because that dog is just always there, I guess. And Jim and Amanda get kidnapped too. So they all get taken to this like little factory. They're chained up and they're like, wow, this is just great. This is really just great. Amanda's still devastated. She's worrying about herself. She's suffering from IDGAF-itis. She's like, oh, so our whole love life was a lie. Mind you, they are literally just got kidnapped by Russians. Could care less. So they're talking it out while they're chained up. And the models end up cracking the case. They figure out that The Russian crime boss is smuggling diamonds through dresses, through the fashion industry. And Jim's like, oh my God, case closed. So they end up escaping through the help of the models once again. They end up escaping and they jump into some random guy's limo. They're getting chased. They're getting shot at. They jump into some random guy's limo. Turns out to be Mr. Alfredo, who is like a big fashion guy in the industry. Okay, they're all like, oh my God, Mr. Alfredo, I love your work. You're so amazing, iconic, this, that, and the third. He's like, yeah, that's great. Okay, but all my models just canceled on me. They're like, oh, so you need models. He goes, well, what did I just say? They go, well, what do we look like? Boom, they got the job. Yes, they got the job. So they get to the show. He's on his way to the show in the limo. So they get out with him. And Amanda's still devastated. Like, girl, get over yourself. Jim's locked in. The models are getting ready. And the Russians follow him there. Everything's about to go down. The Russians are chasing her backstage. It's fighting going on. She gets chased out to the runway. And Jada's out there serving. She's serving. She's slaying. Amanda gets out there. She's serving very much stiff. But she's only out there because the Russians are chasing her. She got nowhere else to go. She gets out there. Candy gets out there. It's a mess. They're falling. They're tripping. They're bumping into each other. Russians get out on the runway. And the girls tackle them. The girls tackle them. Amanda falls on top of Mr. Halloran's head. It's pandemonium, but they end up catching the bad guys. Cut to a TV show. Mr. Alfredo's getting celebrated with flowers. The girls are all on stage. They're giving a bow. Cut to the FBI is there. They go up to the girls. They're like, guys, we couldn't have done it without you. We couldn't have done it without you. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks. And the crusty cop is there. And they're like, yeah, look at how we ate you up. Jim comes up. He pulls Amanda aside. He's like, can I talk to you for a second? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I lied to you. I didn't plan to get this involved with you, but I love you. Please, please. And Amanda's like, no, you lied to me. You're done. But she didn't mean that, because next day at work, she's sad. She's devastated. And she is not over him. She is not over him. So she's like, you know what? No, I made a mistake and I got to go get him back. She runs to the aquarium. She thinks she sees a guy. It's not him. Girl, why would he be at the aquarium? Be so for real. So she's walking home. She's sad. She's like, ugh, I blew my chance. Boom. Hamlet tackles her. Or he tries to. He misses. And who else is walking her but Jim? He goes, oh, yeah, I just moved into the neighborhood. My name's Bob. Nice to meet you. Oh, my God, y'all. I forgot to mention when they were locked up. When they were locked up by the Russians, he was like, yeah, my name's not even Jim. My name is Bob Smoot. What the fuck? Now, why would they give him an ugly-ass name like that? Guys, be so for real. What? So anyway, cut to the end of the movie. He's like, hi, I just moved to the neighborhood. My name's Bob. Nice to meet you. And they're joking. He gets her up to the apartment, and they're chatting it up. Jim gets weak in the knees. He stumbles. He falls. And they kiss. And the blinds close. Happily ever after. The end. So yeah, that's the story of Head Over Heels. Absolutely iconic piece of film and media. Except people very much failed to see that at the time. Oh, it was giving massive flop. The reviews are really devastating for this movie. People just don't have the mindset to tap into something cunty. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just truly could never get it. They truly would never, ever, ever get it. Like, how could they? If everyone slayed so hard, slay would lose all meaning. If everyone could comprehend and understand slay and give slay every day, sometimes the people who can slay, they're just going to have to appreciate it for what it is and just live with the fact that other people are going to see it as a flop. And that's okay sometimes. That's okay. It absolutely flopped at the box office. Budget was very much not recuperated. Let me actually read something straight from Miss Wikipedia here. She said the final domestic grossing was 10.4 million, while the foreign market grossed 2.7 million, for a worldwide total of 13.1 million. And you might be thinking, okay, 13.1 million. So the budget was actually $14 million. Oh, that's not. Against its $14 million budget, the film was a flop. That is straight from Wikipedia. Why did Wikipedia drag it like that? What do you mean Wikipedia is calling it a flop? No, that's feral. That's feral, yeah. And is it available on streaming? No. If you are that girl enough, then you'll find a way to watch it, okay? If I'm being so real, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. Because right before I watched this movie, I watched Debs. Child, that movie was a hot mess. That movie was a hot mess. And so I went into this being like, oh, Lord, I can't handle another 2000s fashion movie. How wrong was I? How wrong was I to uncover this iconic little piece of media? Yup. So that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this audio quality is much better, as you can see. Talking to a mic. Maybe you yased because the quality from last video. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.